I'm here with one of my very favorite chefs and a very good friend, Pierre Shedlin, and we're making an exquisite, he's making an exquisite caramel souffle because they take, what, 17 minutes to bake?
17 minutes approximately,
Okay,
yep.
approximately, exactly. We have this batch to go in the oven. You want to put it in?
Yep, straight away.
Okay, and then they'll be ready when we are finished with this part of the show. So I love those souffles so much, Pierre, and that's why I have you here today, because I forgot to get the recipe when you were at my house.
But we're going to do it together.
Okay. So we had a party at my house for about 18 people, I think. Wasn't it about 18 or 16?
It was 18, yeah. So
18 people at one table, and to serve souffles to 18 people
it's challenging.
at the same time where they're ready, it was exquisite. And it was for Dan Hinckley,
absolutely,
our
yep.
plant explorer. So we had a great time, and all gardeners were there, and they were all, they're still talking about the dessert. Souffles, caramel souffles with caramel ice cream. And we're going to make the ice cream too. So let's get started, because it does take a while to caramelize everything, right?
So exactly. So here we have a cup of granulated sugar that we started to put inside.
Okay.
And we're going to give it a nice coloration, as brown as possible, so you can push it quite dark.
Okay, so I'm putting it on a high heat, and you just swirl, right? You don't stir, do you?
You don't even have to stir. It would melt gradually like that, and basically it's going to look like, so that's the color you want, basically.
This
so
dark,
you want nice
beautiful golden brown.
Brown, exactly.
Okay.
So what we're going to do now, it's out of the, you don't want to burn it too much. We're going to add the milk gradually.
Okay, so this one, this one's
This
just starting to melt.
Exactly. So what we're going to do...
So how much cream?
So 2 cups of, no, that's milk. 2 cups of milk.
Okay.
We're going to add a cup of heavy cream as well.
This is the souffle base.
Base, exactly.
And now, souffles do have a reputation for being difficult, finicky, da-da-da. But Pierre has somehow... when did you get this recipe? Did you make it up, or is it
we
something
worked on it. I wanted to have something very working proof, basically. So I didn't want to come up with that. So that's going to melt. The whole thing is going to melt. Okay. And basically...
just leave it?
Exactly. So what the caramel is going to melt. Meanwhile, we're going to prepare the egg yolk. We're going to...
Should I show how to do the dish? Because this is probably my favorite part of the whole souffle, is the dish itself is buttered with a soft, room temperature butter.
Exactly.
Heavily buttered, right? And then Pierre uses turbinado sugar, which is like a natural sugar, the beautiful caramel colored sugar. That's doing well, yeah. And you line the whole mold with about a tablespoon of sugar, and make sure you get it all the way around, right? Yeah, heavy. Oh, I missed one little tiny bit down there. I don't know how he did that. Okay.
So that's the sugar helps as well to elevate the souffle.
Oh, it's like it crawls up the little roughness of that coarse sugar.
And it gives a nice crust to the souffle
as well. See how that is? That is really important. And that crust, everybody was scraping out the crust.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's the nice
part.
Know. So basically, what we're going to do now is going to prepare the liaison. So this caramel is done.
That's done. Okay.
So here we're going to add the sugar to the egg white.
Okay, to egg yolk.
To the egg yolk, yes.
Yeah, so there's 5 egg yolks. Yeah, this is this side. Here.
Okay. Afterwards, after this 2 tablespoons of sugar, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour.
Okay. That's the speed, that one. Every machine is different.
There we go. And we're going to add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch as well.
Good.
So that's going to bind our caramel things here.
Oh, this is coming nicely now. Yep, so that's all melting down into the cream and milk.
So we have the result from here.
Oh, so that's already mixed. Now, do you cook this until it's thick, or just until it's melted?
No, just until the caramel is melted on the milk have a nice caramel flavor. Now we're going to thicken it with this one, basically.
Okay.
So that's going to give us the custard.
Okay.
Or so more crème pâtissière.
So do a little bit of the hot in here. Here, do you want to pull that over a little closer?
This way.
So we're tempering the eggs.
Exactly.
Okay. So
I'm
here.
going to use that.
Yep. Okay. Okay, so you don't want to cook those egg yolks Now, caramel souffle. I thought chocolate was your favorite.
It is, yeah.
But,
I mean, that's the.
But I asked for caramel, didn't
exactly,
I? Exactly.
you were the one. So I came up with a couple of flavor, and caramel came up, and the fact that it's not something common, we have to work in a different recipe.
Right, exactly.
So what we're going to do, we're going to add this one down here again, and we're going to thicken this base. So that's the base.
I'll keep stirring. You want me to keep stirring it?
Exactly. So we have just to sear that and make it come up to a boil.
Okay.
And nice and thickened. Then we're going to put aside. Meanwhile, I'm going to work on the egg whites.
But make sure you stir, because it will curdle, right?
Exactly.
Just make sure you keep stirring,
Exactly.
It's Looks already getting nice and thick.
Oh, yeah, with the flour and the cornstarch, it's going to get quite thick straight away.
And even though it has flour and cornstarch in it, it never tasted at all. It tasted light as a feather.
Oh, yeah, it's tiny little bit of flour for the amount, 2 tablespoons, and a little bit of cornstarch.
So how thick do you want it?
And the caramel is so strong as well. I want it bubbly and very, very thick. So it's going to get much thicker than a crème anglaise. It's going to be more like cream, pesto cream.
Oh, okay, I understand. I did not watch, as I said, Pierre, make the dessert that night. I was so busy making flower arrangements for Dan Hinckley. Remember how pretty the table looked? It was so beautiful. Okay, so, is that in all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so keep beating the egg whites. We have some egg whites already beaten, Pierre, right there.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add 6 tablespoons gradually. What we want is to bring up the egg white up, and then once they get soft peak, we add the sugar on it, and basically we have a result down here.
Okay, so this is bubbling.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set this on aside. But that's something you can do easily the day before. On the day of the event of the souffle, you bring this one up, and that's...
Okay.
So here we have the egg whites.
All beaten.
All beaten up. So what we're going to do, that's our base, who's a little bit, who's cooled down. You don't want it warm. You just want it low room temperature.
I'm just whipping this up for you.
So, yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there.
So what we're going to do right now is we're going to add this one.
Fold them in.
Fold them in gradually.
Okay. And then we're going to need the molds.
Exactly.
Which are already prepared. Now this makes how many?
This makes exactly 6 souffle.
Okay. So that's yours. And then they go into, these are 10-ounce ramekins. They measure 4 inches across and 2.5 inches high. So you started making, when did you make your first souffle? You're not a pastry chef.
I'm not a pastry chef. So my first souffle was a cheese souffle. And I just came out, I was graduated, and I wanted to please my mom, the whole family. And yeah, it was a cheese souffle. It was okay, but it wasn't the, you know, but when you are young, it's your first souffle, it's always, was a pleasure.
Well, Pierre is the chef of Benoit Restaurant on 55th Street.
55th Street, yep.
And between 5th and 6th. And it has become a real hot spot. I mean, it is so crowded. There's private party rooms upstairs. It's a restaurant of Alain Ducasse, where you trained originally.
In France, exactly.
And when Pierre took over last year, the restaurant immediately started to get really busy, and you're packed all the time. It's wonderful.
We're doing not extremely well, but with the time, but I'm not complaining, basically.
Yeah, no, you're doing very
well.
But
everybody's welcome, and it's always more space for more people, for sure.
And it's a lively, fun place. Elliot ate there last night. My blogger guy, who works for me up in Bedford, he went there last night.
Yeah, he came yesterday with Kate.
And they had a delicious dinner, they said.
So what we're going to do now, we fold this one gently inside. We're just going to fill each souffle.
Up almost to the top?
Almost up to the top, exactly.
Okay.
So you want to be careful not to put too much on the edge neither, because that's going to burn later on.
Right, I see.
And so you want just to fill them up nicely.
Okay.
If necessary, and here we go.
Okay.
So now we have at least 2 of those ready.
Okay.
We're going to put them in a microwave. So the microwave trick...
watch this. Now this is... Now where'd you learn that little trick?
But that's a restaurant trick, basically. It's something that helps the souffle to form a crust around the microwave and helps to elevate the souffle later.
This is the best tip of all.
So basically, we put that in the microwave.
We're calling this Pierre's tip. So 2 of those go into the microwave for how long?
They go in the microwave for 20 seconds. So we're going to put 20 seconds. we're going to put them at a power level, but you want the power level to be at 50. You don't want the full power level.
Okay.
And then you're going to start it, and we let it go for 20 seconds. Then straight away in the oven, and that helps really the souffle to grow up.
Oh, it grows up. Oh,
exactly.
That's fantastic. That is such an interesting thing.
Then
So,
oven as well, 350 degrees between 15 and 17 minutes, depending on your oven as well.
okay. And it makes exactly 6. We thought that caramel ice cream would be the perfect accompaniment for the caramel soufflés.
Absolutely.
And so to make the caramel ice cream, you do sort of the same thing. You burn the sugar, you melt it.
We're going to do a custard. We're not going to add basically the flour on the.
Okay.
So what we're going to,
a quarter of a cup of water.
Exactly.
And how much sugar?
A whole cup of turbinado sugar this time.
Okay, the same beautiful kind of raw brown sugar.
Exactly.
And just let that melt into a clear caramelly syrup. Okay, and then we add 4 cups of milk.
Exactly.
Okay, so that goes in there.
As well.
So you're again making a base for the ice cream, like
Exactly.
you're doing a base for the, but no flour, nothing like that goes in the ice cream.
Yeah, that's what now you want to whisk that and let it brown, let it simmer the caramel for approximately 10 minutes.
Okay, until you have this.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we have a brownie caramel milk on here. Now we're just going to do the same process as before with 9 egg yolks.
9 egg yolks.
A third of a cup of granulated sugar.
Okay.
And we're going to just whisk the sugar in the egg and add the
And then again
caramel.
temper, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so you're going to melt the sugar in those egg yolks with the custardy milk.
Exactly.
Okay.
We're going to bring it back.
Caramelly milk.
We're going to bring it back to the stove as well, but
okay.
we're not going to cook it as much as we did the other one because we don't want the egg
So you're
to
making
curl
like a
this
crème
time.
anglaise. With
Exactly,
this.
it's a crème anglaise. Exactly.
Instead of a crème pâtissière, you're doing a crème anglaise.
Exactly, but that's the same with every ice cream basically, unless but you flavor it with something else. You can flavor with chocolate or vanilla and so on.
What I like is that it's just very simple. I mean, what a simple base for
Oh, for sure, and it's
just egg yolks, milk, sugar.
Exactly, and
Okay.
then you need a nice ice cream machine or and it works.
Right.
And you can do easily a gallon or a half a gallon of
this
ice cream.
one has to go back on here.
Exactly.
And cook.
I'm going to
Okay,
cook it.
and cook that, watching it very carefully until it is thick.
Exactly.
Like
That you have, so that's the consistency you want, basically.
show what it does. This is. I always like to show this. When you draw a line through it, it stays. That's when the custard is finished, ready to turn into ice cream.
Exactly.
So cool this down on ice.
Absolutely.
And pour it right.
So you want it cooled down,
Boy,
and
does
we're going to
that
pour
taste good.
We're going to pour it in the ice.
It is really good.
In the ice machine, so that any ice machine.
Ice
cream machine works. I have a different one at home, and it works perfectly as well.
Yeah, this is pretty. This is the same as I have at home, right? The
Exactly.
The Cuisinart.
That's the Cuisinart. Yeah.
It works very well.
Yeah, it works perfectly. We're just going to put the lid back on here, and we just put it on. So it might vary from one machine to another.
Yeah.
But
And if you have a little closet or someplace, just put it in there because the noise
can be annoying.
it gets you after a while. But this is so good. And that goes on and on
exactly.
until it makes the most beautiful ice cream.
that we have here.
And this is a good kind of dish to put it in, isn't it?
Oh, definitely,
It's
yeah.
so nice to
on this
serve.
glass as well, and then you can just.
What do you think? The soufflés are done?
Oh, they're done. It's
Okay.
exactly 17 minutes, so it should be ready. So now we're just going to put a little scoop of this ice cream for each of us.
So beautiful. You see how Pierre makes these egg-shaped ice cream scoops?
So
That
here
is
we
so
go.
pretty.
Now the most important, we're going to bring the souffle
Okay.
out.
And we have a little dish. These are our little Macy's dishes, the Martha Stewart collection, with whipped cream. Another leaf dish with this scoop of the caramel ice cream.
And
Look at those. Oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. See, this is really a great souffle. Oh. Yeah, okay, I want that one. Here, you take this one.
Yep, so I have to admit they're quite exceptional.
They are exceptional.
So here we go.
Pierre has asbestos fingers, which I do not have.
Well, I'm used
There.
to heat,
Yes,
so
you
here
are.
we go. On this souffle, the beauty out of it, they stay at least 2, 3, not a minute or so before they fell completely down.
right.
So you have a little bit of time to get
To get
organized
them
and bring
served
it
out
to
your guests.
Yeah.
But look at that dessert. That is really amazing. And And the best thing of all, it's really, really good. Oh my gosh, Pierre, thank you so much. This is a delightful and gorgeous
Thank you. Pleasure.
feast for anybody to end a meal.